Today's topic is about treatment of acute diarrheal diseases. A passage of loose liquid water stools more than 3 times a day is called as diarrhea. Nowadays, character of stool is more important than the number of stools. Coming to this type of stools, they are acute watery diarrhea, acute bloody diarrhea, persistent diarrhea, and diarrhea with severe malnutrition. Watery diarrhea, it may lead to dehydration, weight loss. It's mainly caused by Vibrio cholera and E. coli. Acute bloody diarrhea, it is due to the damage of intestinal mucosa, which may lead to malnutrition and sepsis. It is mainly by Shigella. Persistent diarrhea, we call it is persistent if it lasts longer than 14 days. It may lead to malnutrition and infection. Coming to diarrhea with severe malnutrition, it can be associated with systemic infections like HIV. Coming to the agents which cause diarrhea, bacteria, virus, and parasites. Coming to the viruses, rotavirus, astrovirus, adenovirus, and caliciviruses, they cause diarrhea. Coming to bacteria, E. coli, Salmonella, Shigella, Vibrio. Coming to parasites, Entamoeba histolytica, Giardia, Cryptosporidium, and Cyclospora cause diarrhea. Coming to the actual topic, that is the control of diarrhea, diarrheal disease control program. It can be controlled like short term and long term. Short term is mainly by clinical management. Long term actions include better MCH care, preventive strategies, and preventing diarrheal epidemics. Before initiating the treatment, dehydration is classified into mild and severe type of dehydration. In mild dehydration, patient is thirst, normal pulse volume, and blood pressure is normal, and skin elasticity. Pinch retracts. After pinch, the skin retracts immediately, and tongue is moist. Coming to severe malnutrition, patient is drowsy, cold, sweaty, and may be cosmatized, and radial pulse is rapid and or feeble. And blood pressure is less than 80 mm per Hg, and skin after pinching the skin retracts very slowly and tongue is very dry. Based on these categories, we classify diarrhea into mild and severe, and the estimated fluid deficit in mild dehydration is 40 to 50 ml per kg, and in severe it is 100 to 110 ml per kg. First, we'll talk about short-term management, that is clinical management. Clinical management, it includes oral rehydration and IV rehydration therapy. First, we'll talk about oral. Oral rehydration therapy, its main motto is to prevent dehydration and reduce mortality. Initially, WHO recommended sodium bicarbonate. Later, trisodium citrate came into action, and now we follow reduced osmolarity ORS. The components of reduced osmolarity ORS include sodium glucose chloride, potassium, and citrate. Remember, like millimoles per liter, 75, 75, 65, 20, and 10. Total it comes to 245 milliosmoles per liter. If the child with diarrhea, if the weight of the child is known, we give 75 ml per kg. If the weight is not known, we give on the basis of the age. Oral rehydration mixtures are freely available in PHCs, subcenters, and hospitals, and the content of the sachet is mixed with 1 liter of water, and it is freshly made and can be used within 24 hours. It should not be boiled or sterilized. If WHO mixtures of salts are not available, then you can use table salt and sugar in the ratio 1:6, or otherwise rice water, green coconut water, unsalted soup, and yogurt drinks. To this, you add 3 grams of salt in 1 liter of water. Avoid using commercial carbonated beverages, commercial fruit juices, and sweetened teas. This is about oral rehydration therapy. Coming to IV rehydration. IV rehydration, we mainly use Ringer lactate or diarrheal treatment solution, which is the ideal solution. Ringer lactate, it has sufficient amounts of sodium and potassium and bicarbonate, which is used to treat the acidosis. And if both the Ringer lactate and diarrheal treatment solution is not available, you can use normal saline, but avoid using plain sugars and dextrose. They only contain sugar and water, not the sodium, salt, and bicarbonate. And you can also give zinc supplements. Zinc supplements, they reduce the duration and severity of diarrhea, and they also lower the incidence in the following 2 to 3 months. In less than 6 months of age, 10 mg of zinc is given, and if the child's age is greater than 6 months, then give the complete dose, that is 20 mg per kg for 14 days. Now coming to the long-term measures. Long-term measures includes, first one is better MCH care. First, MCH care, mother-child health care. So first coming to maternal nutrition. The mother should be provided with adequate prenatal and postnatal nutrition. Prenatal nutrition, it reduces the risk of low birth weight, and the postnatal nutrition, it improves the quality of the breast milk. Child nutrition, early initiation of breastfeeding and appropriate weaning practices, supplementary feeding, and vitamin A treatment. Main cause of higher incidences of diarrhea are seen during 6 to 11 months of age. During this period, the child starts to crawl, and there is weaning practices. Weaning practices which leads to the decline in the antibodies, and crawling, this child directly comes in contact with the human and animal feces. So appropriate weaning practices, supplementary feeding, and vitamin A should be given. Our main aim is to reduce pneumonia and diarrhea morbidity and mortality by either preventing or treating. Prevention is mainly by hand washing with soap, safe drinking water, and sanitation. Vaccination can treat up to 25% of diarrheal deaths, reduce household air pollution, HIV prevention, and cotrimoxazole prophylaxis for HIV infected and exposed children. This is about prevention. Treatment, low osmolarity ORS and zinc supplementation. Antibiotics should be avoided as much as possible. They harm more than good. So avoid antibiotics. Antibiotics should be used only in Shigella and Salmonella infections, and continue breastfeeding and vitamin A prophylaxis and case management at health facility, and improved care seeking and refer.